Why haven't we been back to the moon in almost 50 years? We had such a big rush to get there, spent a fortune, and then now we don't go back anymore. Why don't we go back? Well, I'll answer that. Because there's nothing there. There's nothing worth staying for. The moon was like Mount Everest, begging to be climbed. So we went to the moon. But like Mount Everest, well, what do you do when you get to the top of Mount Everest? You get out of there. You skedaddle back down. Nobody stays on Mount Everest. Nobody vacations on top of Mount Everest. Nobody builds a house on top of Mount Everest. Or runs a farm or a factory on Mount Everest. No, you go to Mount Everest and you get out of there as quick as you can. That's the same thing with the moon. There's nothing there. Is there any gold to mine? Well, maybe there is. But look at all the trouble you got to go through to just start digging there. You can't find enough gold to pay for the effort to dig for it on the moon. You can't set up housekeeping on the moon. It's too difficult. You can't farm on the moon. If you want to farm on the moon, you got to bring your own water and your own dirt. How about vacationing on the moon? Well, after you've seen the moon and turned around and saw the earth from the moon, that's it. How many times can you do that in a day? There's nothing to do on the moon. So that's why we haven't been back there in nearly 50 years. It's like the bottom of the ocean. Explorers want to get to the bottom of the ocean. They got their diving bells or submarines, whatever you want to call them. They get down there. They turn on the lights. They look around. And then what do? They come right back up. Nobody wants to hang around at the bottom of the ocean. It's too expensive. There's nothing to do. You can't build a house down there. You can't farm. You can't manufacture. You can't vacation. So the moon, going to the moon is like going to the bottom of the ocean. You've been there, then you come back up and tell everybody you've been there. And you show them the pictures. And that's about it. Now we are going crazy. We want to go to Mars. Oh, that's going to be expensive. But nevertheless, we want to go to Mars. And it's going to be the same thing. Once we get to Mars, we're going to want to go back. Because there's nothing to do there. We can't colonize it. We can't enslave Martians. Even if we found them, probably. We can't mine. We can't find gold. We can't find historical objects. So we'll go to Mars, and then after we've been to Mars, we won't go back anymore because there's no reason to go back. But that's why we haven't been back to the moon in almost 50 years.